Okay, sir.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Namaskar.
नमस्कार मल्होत्रा साहब, नमस्कार.
Okay, नमस्ते सुभाष जी, कैसे हैं?
Namaskar, sir.
Good to see you all. Oh,
नमस्ते.
my great.
Canada
Good to see you, sir. Good to see you. Good to see you, sir. I'm really happy to see
हाँ,
you.
नमस्कार सर.
वैंकूवर से बोल रहा हूँ. वैंकूवर से बात है.
बिल्कुल. मैंने कहा गॉड साहब से काफी टाइम के बाद मिला होना, तो इसलिए हम लोगों का तो पुरानी बॉन्डिंग है, तो सब याद करते हैं.
अभी देखा मैंने, फेसबुक पे देखा अभी आपका, मैंने चलो बात करता हूँ.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Great. Yeah, Dr. Subhash ji.
नमस्कार सर.
Namaskar, Dr. Mukesh. Namaskar.
Yeah, namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Namaste to everybody. I could see Dr. Yadav and many other colleagues are also present here. Yes.
Dr. Gujar is also there. Dr. Gujar is also there.
Oh, my namaskar to everybody. Namaskar to him also. Okay, we can I think start. I'm here with you.
Yeah. Dr. Rekha, please.
A very warm good morning and welcome to this 11th lecture in the lecture series of which is being organized in the commemoration of Azadi ka Amrut Mahotsav for the 75 years of India's independence. And we are India's independence, and in this lecture, I welcome you all, respected Dr. S.K. Malhotra sir, Dr. Gaur sir, Dr. Gujar sir, Dr. Subhash Chandra, Director ICAR-NCIPM, and Dr. Mukesh Sehgal, HRD in charge, Dr. S.K. Singh, PMA in charge of ICAR-NCIPM, respected seniors, distinguished scientists, dignitaries who have joined us from the various parts of the country, farmers, students, and all the participants who have joined us from the various parts of the country. I welcome you all in this lecture. First of all, we would like to welcome Dr. S.K. Malhotra sir, who has requested, accepted our request. Who has accepted our request for delivering this lecture on policy intervention for successful implementation of IPM in the country. We understand that the policy interventions are very important, and they are actually will be the path breakers and the milestones which we supposed to achieve in the process of dissemination of IPM throughout the country. So this lecture will be a very important for us in understanding the roadmap in dissemination of IPM throughout the country. And we welcome Dr. Gaur sir, Dr. Gujar sir, who are very kind, and they have joined us from the different parts who have joined us today. And I welcome Dr. Subhash Chandra, Director NCIPM, for his in this lecture, and welcome Dr. Mukesh Sehgal sir in this lecture, and all the dignitaries who have joined us from the various parts are heartily welcome in this lecture. Now I request Dr. Mukesh Sehgal to please give us the preamble of the program, sir. Dr. Mukesh Sehgal sir, please.
Thank you, Dr. Rekha. Esteemed Dr. S.K. Malhotra, Director DKMA, my guide, my teacher, my mentor, Dr. Gaur sir, Dr. Subhash Chandra, Director ICAR-NCIPM, and Dr. Gujar, esteemed teacher to us, and various scientists and KVK experts and other have joined or may be joining soon. It's today is a very auspicious day we have, and we have very auspicious lecture also. Dr. Malhotra is when we just just have a word with Dr. Malhotra. He is kindly, he given his consent in a second or a minute, you can say. Rather, I can say only in a second, he say agreed, yeah. And the topic is we have done for this time is policy intervention for successful implementation of IPM in the country. IPM in the country. And though ICAR-NCIPM is celebrating on the instruction of ICR and our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, the Azadi ka Mahotsav, and we are also very happy to celebrate 75th, you can say, of the completion of our independence. And we are making effort to have a lecture from eminent scientists of the country, like we have a lecture from Dr. Gaur on the plant parasitic nematode, Dr. H.V. Singh on microbial pesticides, Dr. Ashok Dalvi, and many others we have requested, and all have given. Every month we have one lecture, and we are celebrating this. Or we can say, many people are joining and taking advantage of the lecture which we are making. We are making effort so that everyone will have a new concept, new thought to spread the IPM, because IPM is a national policy in the country, but still we need to disseminate more. If I tell you a correct data, what we are calculated still now from 517 KVKs, it shows we are nearly touching more than 10% IPM, and we have a target in 2020 or 25 or 30. We may touch 30%, and by 2050 we may touch to be 100%. This is our target, and for this we require, just like I told you that we are making effort to disseminate the IPM technology in different states. NCIPM is involved in nearly 17-18 states. We are working in IPM, and still we want to cover up we want to touch in coming in 1 or 2 years, complete all the states and union territories wherever we can reach. And for that we need a policy intervention for the successful implementation of IPM in the country. And I can find only one person who is making agriculture India more successful is Dr. S.K. Malhotra. Dr. S.K. Malhotra is a commissioner for agriculture and horticulture. So we have requested, and we thank you, sir. And I thank all the people who have joined today for a good interaction. I hope this will be going to make a landmark history. Maybe have slight change in mind of all of us by hearing from Dr. Malhotra, sir. So, over to Dr. Rekha. Dr. Rekha, please.
Thank you, sir. As said by sir, that yes, IPM dissemination throughout the country is not only the requirement, but is a prerequisite for the sustainable agriculture and meeting the food security as well as the food safety, nutritional safety of the nation. So, taking the program further, now I request Dr. Subhash Chandra to please give his initial remarks and introduce our speaker of the day. Dr. Subhash Chandra, please. We can't hear you yet, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rekha. A very good morning to everyone. Honorable Dr. S.K. Malhotra, Project Director, Directorate of Knowledge Management in Agriculture, ICR, former Agriculture Commissioner, Horticulture Commissioner, Assistant Director General Horticulture. So he has decorated many positions. And Dr. H.S. Gaur, former Vice Chancellor, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel University, Modipuram, and former Dean IRI, Dr. G.T. Gujar, former head and an eminent entomologist from IRI, all others, directors of the sister institutes, head of the divisions, KVK in charges, all the scientists, farmers, scientists of NCIPM, Dr. Mukesh Sehgal, Dr. Rekha, Dr. Raghavinder, coordinator of this program. So I am very happy that this lecture has been organized to give us directions and advice how to move further. And before introducing the prominent or eminent speaker of the day, I would like to share some of my thoughts on this IPM. As we know that today our national priorities, they include production of safe food, doubling of farmers' income, conservation of environment, and related to farmers' income and prestige of the country is that promoting of exports. And IPM has to play a very significant role in this regard in all these aspects. And it is also our cardinal policy, or we can say national policy for crop protection in the country since 1985. But I still feel that we have not internalized this concept, or it has not gone into our psyche. That's why it is found that we directly jump to pesticide recommendations. When some problem farmer approaches us or some person approaches us, we directly jump to pesticide recommendations. And I am sorry to say that still I find people or companies giving calendar-based recommendations under contract farming or other systems. So that is what, and it is, I agree to some extent that we have dearth of IPM inputs like biocontrol agents, pheromone traps. They are not accessible to each and every farmer or in each every part of the country. But there are still simpler techniques like surveillance, which can help us to resort to need-based pesticide applications. And even if we resort to need-based pesticide application, that can help us in a great way to avoid injudicious use of pesticides and saving farmers unnecessary expenditure and also protecting the environment. And I assure you that if we do that, I think we will be reducing farmers' expenditure and IPM will prove cheaper. So if we imbibe that philosophy, and also we know that we have largest national agriculture research education extension system in the country. We have more than 100 ICR institutes. We have more than 70 agriculture universities. We have 731 KVKs. We have agriculture departments, and everywhere this crop protection is carried out. If everyone imbibes this, instead of giving only pesticide recommendations, we have to first see the situation and give IPM recommendations. That I don't think it will be difficult to create awareness, and also through creation of entrepreneurship in IPM inputs, I think will not be difficult to increase area under IPM, which is need of the hour, and this is which is now pegged at 5%, but I think still, as Mukesh told, it is more than that. So we are also doing. So these are the simple things. I think it is not a big philosophy. It is only simple surveillance and following whether pesticide is needed or not. That also can play wonders. So with these words, now I feel privileged in introducing our eminent speaker of the day, Dr. S.K. Malhotra. As I told you that currently he is adoring the chair of project director, Directorate of Knowledge Management in Agriculture, ICR. Before that, he has been Agriculture Commissioner, Horticulture Commissioner, and Assistant Director General, ICR, and contributed very significantly in the system and in the ministry. As far as his education is concerned, he post-graduated from Chaudhry Charan Singh, the Haryana Agriculture University, and did his PhD from GB Pant University of Agriculture and Technology in horticulture, vegetable breeding. And as Agriculture and Horticulture Commissioner, his major focus was on increasing productivity of agriculture crops through implementation of National Food Security Mission, National Mission for Oilseeds, Mission for Development of Horticulture, and increasing water productivity through PMKSY. As Assistant Director General Horticulture, he provided leadership to 10 institutes, 6 directorates, 7 national research centers, and 14 all India coordinated research projects. And he was a visiting scientist at Cornell University, Ithaca, US, and worked in USAID project of value chain management and also at Taiwan Agriculture Research Institute function. He also represented the country in various international fora like G20, SAARC, FAO, WHO, UNECE, Codex, IDC, ADV, African Union, European Union meetings. He was chair to 18 high-powered committees and task forces to provide solutions to challenges that faced our country. As far as his research contributions are concerned, he developed 14 high-yielding varieties of seed spice crops, and many of these varieties are now bases of cultivation in Rajasthan and Gujarat under the rain-fed farming. He has published over 112 research papers in national and international journals, 6 books, 38 book chapters, and 108 other publications to his credit. And commensurate to his contributions and academic career, he has also been conferred with many rewards like Young Scientist Gold Medal 2005, G.S. Pruthi Award 2010, R.S. Prodha Award 2015, West Paper Award in World Aqua Congress 2009, and he's at present President of Indian Society for Ornamental Horticulture and Vice President of 2 professional societies, Fellow of 6 professional societies, Chairman of 2 and member of 6 editorial committees. So with these all his contributions and playing very important role, we are lucky to have you, sir, today, and we look for you for our guidance and our what you call roadmap for further promoting the IPM in the country, which is very important issue. Thank you. Thank you, Rekha. Now you can invite Dr. our eminent speaker of the day for further proceedings.
Thank you, sir. We are indeed lucky and privileged to have you, sir, for delivering this very important lecture. Now I invite you to please deliver the lectures. Please give your talk.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. I'm really very happy to be here with you all. First of all, I convey my thanks to Dr. Subhash, Dr. Mukesh, and one of his colleagues. They both came to me regarding this presentation. They made me aware about NCIPM activities, and then they further mentioned about this program, which is now being done under the Azadi ka Amrut Mahotsav. So my great friend, Dr. God, I'm really happy to see him. Then Dr. Raghavendra also, I could see him, my class fellow, and we have worked together. We have studied together. So I'm really happy to see you here. Well, friends, and also farmers, I would like to mention, because many of the farmers are also linked with it, and many of our scientist colleagues from NCIPM and also from the various other areas, universities, they are present here. So it's really a matter of pleasure for me to share my views on these policy interventions in successful implementation of IPM in the country. Though I have put my presentation here, but I don't know whether it will be fully fitting to this, fully fitting to the title of this seminar, but I may little deviate because my focus has been all more on this biopesticide aspect. So that aspect also I am going to cover under the IPM. But as a chairman of the regulatory authority, Central Insecticide Board Registration Committee, my personal experiences which I encountered in the last 6 years, definitely I would like to share with you. And now I'll just share my presentation which I have prepared, though it has not been fully customized, commensurating to your title which you have given, because I could not find the time because of some busy schedule with some other activities. I failed to do that, but anyway, I'll try my best to cover the topic and the points which you have which you expect from me, but you all are the learned person. You all are the experienced person in the area of IPM. If we speak about, you are the key persons, the group with whom I'm addressing and getting the opportunity to share my views. They are self-competent and they have done wonders. I could understand and I agree with you all that yes, this is the requirement of the country. Yes, now here there are several issues which pertains to integrated pest management because of some safety aspect related to the food safety. And then further, you also mentioned the concern, Dr. Subhash as well as Dr. Mukesh, that yes, the area under IPM is less. We need to further increase it. Yes, this is a matter of worry for us. So let me start my presentation with this first slide, which I think it's visible to you all, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So agriculture in India, if you speak about, country has made great strides. Our production level for food grains have increased from 6.3 times to 6.3 times if we compare and take the 1950 and 51 as the base year. And similarly for horticulture, 13.6 times our production level has increased to 341 million tons. These all are the recent data which I am sharing with you. Similarly for food grains, 314 million tons. India has crossed 50 billion US dollar export from agriculture. These all are the achievements which are now visible. And here I have given the caption at the end that yes, knowledge powered solutions by ICR, National Agriculture Research System, where state agriculture universities also plays the greater role. It has made the impact. That's why we have succeeded in achieving these levels which just I am mentioning here. And again, our position in agriculture, if we will see as a whole, we are number one for many of the crops. And then again for number two also for the many important crops I would like to mention. Similarly, 4 number, 5th number, and 6th number also has been mentioned for soybean, sorghum, safflower. So here now, these all are few introductory slides. Before I discuss IPM, I would like to discuss these all things because they are the base for the policy interventions. That's why I would like to mention here. You can see from this slide, I think it is visible now. I have divided into the two part, and I'm going to mention about the agricultural output in billion US dollars. So here till 1990, because this is the era of before one, that's a green revolution area, that was the beginning. And here the agriculture output was 86 in the year 1990, it was 86 billion US dollar, which has gone up to more than 401 billion US dollars. So this is a kind of growth which has taken over the years. So now we can say that, do we really need a green revolution, second green revolution? But already we have crossed the second green revolution. As I mentioned that our production has increased to 6.3 times for food grains. And again, about 13 times for horticulture. So the only shortfall which we have, that is with the oil seeds. Separate mission government of India has started for that purpose. So here we are, if we speak about agriculture production, we are ahead of US and European Union. You see these figures. In the year 2006, India crossed US, where US was having only 142 billion US dollar gross value addition, which we call. And then in the year 2010, we even crossed European Union as well as US. So this is a kind of progress which has taken place. So from the agriculture production point of view, though we have several inherent problems, that's a separate issue. But as a whole, data speaks that now our situation is at a very comfortable level. And you can see even in the crisis situation, country was at a very comfortable position. We were not having a kind of crisis-like situation. In other countries, they were facing, and recent crisis was related to this wheat and little about the rice also, some kind of food grain, and many countries were they were looking towards India. So there are key technologies which have transformed the agriculture: genetic resources, propagation methods, seed production methods, mass multiplication, reduction of the production losses, post-harvest management aspect. So in totality, we can say that backup of the technologies, developmental initiatives, and policy support, because these all three aspects are required to be taken together. And we were having the favorable atmosphere where government was having a will. That's why such kind of progress has taken place. And these key technologies, there are many. These are few I have mentioned. There are many. There is a long list of the technologies which are now being used. We have a strong knowledge base. Just 3 days back, we discussed about the knowledge base, knowledge management system in the country. Dr. Subhash was also present in that meeting and it was chaired by Honorable DG ICR, and I made a presentation before them. That knowledge management system we need to have and what kind of system is prevailing in the country, and further how each and every institute can play the greater role as a knowledge base, as a repository of the knowledge, which is the main mandate of our institutions. So a few of the new initiatives and breakthroughs I would like to mention. Here, 82% of the land in crops we can see. If we make a total of area wise, you will find that our crop production, which is 44% in the value wise, it is 44%. And crop production is coming from 82% of the land. Whereas horticulture is having only 10% of the land, but it is contributing to 33% value. So now here a diversification has taken place and people are asking for the high value crops. They want to grow these crops and further under that doubling income of the farmer, that project. Here farmers have also got the benefit, and then further they have realized that yes, through diversification, they can enhance their income. And there are several success stories. Very recently, Honorable Agriculture Minister on 16th of July only, he released one booklet where 75,000 success stories were released by him. And that was the part of, though there are a large number of farmers which are taking benefits, but 75,000 were picked from throughout the country from the different agroclimatic zones, and that booklet has been released. So it's a kind of monument, which is a kind of example. It is now being quoted everywhere and it is in discussion everywhere. So few points just I'm going to mention. One is leaf analysis, because usually what happens, because Dr. Subhash also mentioned that integrated pest management, that approach is required to be followed. So sometimes there are some confusing symptoms. And sometimes there is a deficiency of the nutrients, and we sometimes confuse and we say that some kind of disease is there or something, this is there. So leaf analysis, we have already suggested that leaf analysis technique for perennials. For annuals, no problem. We can test the soils, and through testing of the soil, we can come across that what kind of deficiency is there, then accordingly it could be met. But for perennial crops, we need to have a kind of system. So here one committee was constituted where agriculture minister, fertilizer minister was the chairman, and our Minister of Agriculture was the co-chair, and 5 other ministers were also member of that committee. And the name of that committee was Fertilizing the Future. And I got the chance to be the secretary of that committee, and I made a presentation before all ministers, and that recommendations have already gone, where we have recommended leaf analysis along with many other recommendations. So this is also one of the aspects which will be helpful. Then another is nano. As a chairperson of Central Fertilizer Committee, because under the FCO it is covered, if we have to give the permission for nano products and others. So this is the example I'm telling you, where we analyzed all the dossier for safety point of view, because nano everywhere there is a kind of threat and some kind of fear is there that if we allow nano, then it may cause harm, because nano products may enter through the skin and it may stuck in the any part of the body, either on kidney, liver, or any other part of the system. It can stuck and may cause harm. So some kind of risk factor that is involving. So similarly, we analyzed all data and then we gave the permission. And I was a chairperson of this committee, and it took about 1.5 years when they submitted the data to us, and we gave the permission and temporary registration only for 3 years for use of this nano. So nano has now opened a gateway for pesticides also. So in the coming days, I hope some good pesticides formulation may come. But for pesticides, because they are the toxic substances, and dealing with the toxic substances, really, it needs a great care. So a kind of fear is there throughout the world. That's why people have not recommended, and regulatory authorities, they are having a kind of reservation that we should not allow nano pesticides, their application. But yes, we can use through drone. That's a different, I'll discuss later. So then biostimulant is another input, which is now being discussed along with the integrated pest management system also, because if we apply these biostimulants, plant will get a kind of strength that it could tolerate the stresses, and it will increase the quality of the product. So all kind of stresses will be tolerated. So biostimulant is the new area where I got the opportunity to chair that committee, and we submitted the recommendations finally to the government, and now we are having a new regulatory system for the biostimulants in the country. Earlier we were not having. Many people may ask us, what are the biostimulants? What kind of biostimulants are there? What role they play? So seaweed extract, humic acid, fulvic acid, amino acids, cell-free cultures, vitamins, and then protein hydrolates, they all are the part of biostimulants. And you can see that several biostimulants are now being traded in the country, but regulatory system was not there. But now we are having the regulatory system. I have already conducted the first central biostimulant committee meeting on 4th June of 2021. I have already approved the guidelines, and now registration process has started, and biostimulants are now being registered in the country. Definitely, it will become a part of IPM, but we need to see that how it will fit into it, because IPM definition is pest management, but we need to see that whether these biostimulants will play a role in providing strength to the plants, to the crops, so that they can even fight and have an inner strength to fight with these pests, etc. also. Then new molecules, new chemistries, because you have mentioned about, because you have asked me to discuss about the policy matters. Here, government policy matter is now that we need to welcome new molecules. There are several pesticides which have been accepted by the registration committee of the Central Insecticide Board. But here, none of the, I'm really surprised that none of the molecule that has been invented by our researchers. No, all have been invented by some other countries and some big companies. They have done it. Only repeat registration is happening in our country. So people are getting the label claim expansion, getting the technicals approved. They are getting the formulations approved. So here new molecule, because old molecules, it is considered that their more quantity is needed, and they may cause more harm to the environment also, because we are going to use the more quantity. So new molecules are needed. To encourage entry of the new molecules, we have made a separate queue. I took the decision as a chairman of CIBRC committee that we need to welcome the new molecules. Our farmers, our researchers, they should take benefit of these new molecules, which are definitely going to make the impact, because they are more ecologically they are more safe and environment friendly they are. So such environmentally safer pesticides are now being registered. I remember I registered this polyoxin. It's again a fungistatic, and it has its bioorigin, though some kind of synthesis has happened, but it is now being used because you know much better than me, because you have a strong background regarding these molecules and others. You know better the chemistry about that. So polyoxin, spinosad, spinotram, these all are the 3 new molecules which were approved recently, and now these are in practice, and you know the benefit of them. So they are more safer. They are target-oriented approach they have when they are applied to the plants, and they control the most dangerous lepidopteran insects. So either it's and even apart from lepidopteran insects, thrips, caterpillars, bollworms, these all are very effectively controlled. They have they are more bioefficacious than the other ones. So these are the new entry. I think very recently we have given approval, last year only, and now commercialization is happening, and these all new products are available in the market. New chemistries, this fluoroalkylenol, this is again a chemical which is now being used, but it is little safer than other ones. We have another one, Priscosophonics weedicide. I forget to mention one more. There's a new molecule that's a nematicide. I was also discussing with Mukesh when he came. That new nematicide has been registered in the country, and it relates to Adama. I am not here to popularize any private company, but I am going to discuss only the molecule. And its name has been given Nimitz, and it's a flunosulfone. So it is the first nematicide. Otherwise, we were using insecticide, just like carbofuron, for controlling the nematodes. So Dr. Godsab is available with us. He is the renowned expert in that area. I understand. He also understands the importance of this one. So now new molecules are now being registered, and country policy has been relaxed that we need to invite all these things. But and even we have given relaxation that if any kind of data is available worldwide for toxicological point of view, that we can relax it and we can consider as such. Otherwise, there will be slaughtering of the animals for development of the data that could be prevented in some cases. But in some cases, wheresoever it's urgent, industry will have to come out with the data, and then only it will be considered by the committee. Then Gosiliur, this is the recent introduction. Now there are many other in the series. So this is a pheromone. It's a mating disruption technologies in the cotton. This is now being used, and several success stories are now coming. I remember I registered this molecule in the year 2020. We had a great discussion. This was lying pending from the last many years, and it was not getting the clearance. And then finally, when the committee was satisfied, because we put many questions before the committee, before the applicant, and then he succeeded in satisfying us. And now we are having this pheromone, we call it this Gosiliur, and many other are in pipeline, and it has paved the way for the new ones, I should say. Then I would like to mention here a few other new things, because there are invasives, and these invasives, they are really creating a great problem, and it becomes sometimes difficult to manage sometimes. So this is a fall armyworm. This is a fall armyworm. It was a serious pest, and NCIPM, I remember they played the greater role in this case. I remember it was 2018. It was 2018 when this problem came and entered in our country. And I was given this task to manage it with the help of plant protection and quarantine storage, that department we have at Faridabad. Immediately I took a visit to Karnataka, Hassan, Bellur area, where this fall armyworm was first time reported. And then I came back, and immediately I organized that meeting of CIBRC, and label claim was expanded immediately so that we can provide solution to the to the farmers as well as others, because the basic objective was how we need to fight with these invasives. These invasives are creating a great problem sometimes because we don't have knowledge base available with us that how to deal with these invasives. So then I suggested the government that we need to have some kind of knowledge bank, that how to deal with invasives and how other countries are dealing with it, where it is already available from the years it is available, and what kind of strategies they are following. So some kind of ad hoc recommendations could be made, and within 2 days, its IPM schedule was worked out, and that schedule was disseminated everywhere. It was uploaded on the website. It was circulated to the states that they need to follow this IPM schedule for controlling this fall armyworm, because it is really very difficult to contain, eradicate such invasives. But here nature also helped us. And I found, you can see in the picture that this Metrrhizium anisophilis, it was found in the nature and it was automatically controlling them. Then we suggested them that yes, farmers are also very intelligent. They were collecting all such infected larvae and they were making a kind of solution and they were spraying it. And this way it was controlled. And now fall armyworm is not a havoc for us. So nature has also controlled it. States have also taken action. Our research institution has also provided an integrated pest management approach is now being followed. And this is a success story I should mention. Yes, another invasive, that's a rugose sprilling whitefly in palm. Why I'm telling you these all things? Because these all are related to the policies, that whenever we have invasives, how Ministry of Agriculture and government comes into the action to resolve all such issues. First example I have given you, fall armyworm. Second is rugose sprilling whitefly in palm. We are really helpless to control such problems and maladies, but how we can control them? Solutions are there, but our research sector, they need to come forward with some sure shot control measure for this one. Still we are dependent because no any chemical is effective for this one. But anyway, we have come out with an IPM, and that IPM strategy has been that's working well for controlling this rugose sprilling whitefly. It has entered our country through the planting material, ornamental plants which were imported from some other countries, and now it's a polyphagous. It's a polyphagous. It is attacking all crops. Even many of the fruit crops are also infected with it. So it's a great problem for palm, not only for palm, many other crops also. So I think the research sector, they need to come forward, because neem oil, though it is mentioned that neem oil is the only effective ones, but we need to see that how we can further see and we can provide some strong control measures for this purpose. So this is sugarcane woolly aphid. Again, this is a recent example. Here again, IPM played the major role. So I'm telling you success stories for this one. So we have succeeded in doing that, and Indian Council of Agriculture Research, they have come out with the natural enemies, some predators which have been identified, and en masse production is now happening. And this is a kind of success story, and congratulations to our ICAR scientists. They have provided this important solution for this important problem. Similarly for papaya mealybug, everybody knows. I'm not going to tell much detail, just to give and tell that how this NCIPM is important. And here NCIPM is also taking the claim that yes, this is the here light trap is beneficial, and NCIPM recommendation has been accepted throughout the country, and it has proved very beneficial for this one. And Honorable DG made a presentation in a big fora, it was mentioned, and this slide was presented, and I have taken this slide from Honorable DG records. So this is a kind of success story where this Bavaria bassiana in gram pod borer, and then this papaya mealybug, these all are the success stories. So now I am linking with the organic system, because here in the organic system, though integrated pest management is not fully going to help, but here the part of IPM, which is a biopesticide, that is going to play the greater role. So IPM as such, we do not allow, because we have to be abstained from the chemicals, but the biopesticide part could be included into it. That is going to play the greater role here. So 27.77 lakh hectare area is now it has been brought on the organic farming in the country. This is a kind of success, and a new mission has been started where these biopesticides are now being promoted. Mission for Organic Value Chain Development in Eastern region. Then use of the drones in agriculture. Definitely, I would like to mention. I could not put, because I could not get the slides, though it was in my bank. But anyway, I would like to discuss the idea with you all that drones are now, they have become the, I should say, success story now. And again, it's an important policy intervention which has now taken place, and Government of India has allowed use of drones for application of pesticides, application of water soluble nutrients. So this could be done, and Government of India has already given the permission for this. And I got the opportunity to chair the meeting for finalization of the SOP. So standard operating procedures have been finalized, and I okayed when these SOPs were presented before me as a chairperson of the Central Insecticide Board Registration Committee for application of the pesticides through drones. We took two decisions. One, already registered molecules, how to be applied. Their dose is already established, but dose is there because we know that this particular dose is efficient, but water content being used is 200 liters per acre. But now if you are going to use it through drone, definitely water content will go down. It will go down to 110, 20 liters only. So if it is 20 liter, definitely there are likely chances some kind of phytotoxicity may occur. We ask the industry that for already registered molecules, they need to come out with a kind of phytotoxicity data, and they need to ascertain that if they are going to reduce the water for application of that particular pesticide, and then label claim, and then I should say endorsement will be done for application of that particular pesticide and particular dose through drone also. Another for new molecules, already we have new registrations. We have already made different guidelines that they need to follow the regulations. I'll come up in the next slides that how registration data is demanded for them. So now this could be used for pesticide application, biostimulants, fertilizers. But here research sector, they need to come forward. But for biofertilizers and biostimulants, still, and even for biopesticides, still our guideline is, I mean, some kind of research data is needed. So we need to fine tune, and our research sector should come forward to develop the data, to develop the technology for application of these bio inputs also through drone. So some kind of specialty is needed, some kind of special kind of sprayers might be needed. So that could also be studied from that point of view. Nozzles are especially that would also be required. We need to see that how we can use them and how we can further apply them. Because now challenges are there in the agriculture, but solutions also lie with the science and technology. We need to see that how appreciably that could be done. Plant protection scenario, though I do not agree with all this data which has been written here, 90,000 crore per year. I don't know, because these all are estimates. Sometimes they are true and sometimes they are not true. So we used to avoid such data, but it's already available here. So we can just note down the content, that what kind of scenario is there for plant protection, and how much percentage of pesticides are now being used. Largely it is used for weeds, followed by insects, then followed by diseases and other rodents and other ones. So this is a scenario, and we don't have exact scientific data. Some people will say 40%, 30%. So we need to have some loss estimation, correct loss estimation data. I agree that it will vary from crop to crop. It will vary from insect to insect, disease to disease. And then again, in its intensity, there are many other factors. Climate will also play the major role, but we need to come out with some exact information and data crop wise. But though we have information for some crops, but for some other crops we need to have. Then pest management scenario, we have some, if at domestic level we have this IPM, where we use all these 4 components, mostly this cultural, mechanical, biological, and chemicals. These all means are used in the integrated pest management approach. And then in the quarantine, this has been already mentioned about this. But the point which we need to highlight, the use, the trend of pesticide use. This is a trend of pesticide which has been mentioned. And still, if we compare with international other countries, then still it is low. 450 gram it has mentioned. I think it's a little higher side. So it is still low in comparison to other countries. But we are blamed that many other countries, they blame us that yes, there is an indiscriminate use of the pesticide. But we need to see that how best we can further fine-tune our integrated pest management guidelines so that we can make available the safe produce to the people. Then here, yeah, somebody also mentioned that some kind of acts are there. So there are several acts at the different places. Government of India came out with some kind of acts and some kind of resolutions. This biological control scheme was started in the year 1972. Then integrated pest management, that central IPM centers were also established in the year 1991. So this is a kind of approach which Government of India followed, and Government of India realized the importance of this IPM, and considering the importance, National Center for Integrated Pest Management under ICAR was also established, and this center is also doing a good job, and many good things are addressed, and they are appreciably addressing the issues. I remember when I was Agriculture Commissioner, we also supported under the National Food Security Mission program for survey, surveillance, and many other areas, and NCIPM has done a good job in that case, I should say. Then this is just these are the broad things. I'm skipping this one. Then network, I need to really mention. There are 57 planned quarantine stations, 35 central IPM centers, 11 locust control stations. So locust again, I would like to mention that's the best example of surveillance. And you used to say that we need to know the pathway, that how locust is traveling and how we can control it. A complete module is available with us. Now it is being followed, and many other countries, because we are the successful country in managing the locust. Many other countries, they are looking towards India for the help. And India has provided support to many other countries that how locust could be controlled. So we are leader in providing the guidance to the people, not only in India, but also to the other countries. So this is a kind of scenario which has changed, and we are now in the category of leaders to support other countries. So there are challenges. I'm going to mention the same thing and going to repeat this. This is a promotion. That's very important. Our introducers, just they mentioned that we need to provide safe food to the farm, to the people. How we can do that? Promotion of the non-chemical approaches, promotion of IPM approaches, both are needed if we have to do that. Yes, high production has been achieved, but safe value chain is needed. If we need to have a safe value chain where good agriculture practices will play the greater role, and again, eco-friendly way of production, that will also be the important part of it. People are asking for the nutrient food. If any of the variety is containing good nutrients, but it has not been followed with the good agriculture practices, then it's no use. If it is containing pesticide, suppose papaya if it is containing high beta carotene, but it is containing the pesticides residues, then it is of no use. So we need to follow the good agriculture practices. So here certification system has been introduced in the country. We have INDGAP. I was a chairperson of the steering committee where these INDGAP standards were finalized. It took about 2 years. Now country is having INDGAP. Otherwise we were following this global gap, and here minimum standards whatsoever are there, those are now being benchmarked with the global gap, and they are in the process of benchmarking. So good agriculture practices, many of our researchers, they do not know the complete meaning, because as a scientist, I also say, and I also admit, we only cover the part of production system. But here is a complete certification system. And our scientists, they should know about the certification system. So good agriculture practices are the part of that certification system. So there is a complete audit system. Each and every aspect is now being analyzed by the auditors. So we need to learn, before we develop good agriculture practices, we should learn the certification system, gap certification system. Then only a complete information will come. That's a big gap that is existing. We need to see that our researchers, how they can address this issue. Then cluster development program, because we are dependent for import of many commodities. So this is a new program, cluster development program has been started, and where IPM has been included as one of the strategy, one of the approach. It's a very important. And this program was really, I think I was a part of it, and we developed this new program because I was holding both positions, agriculture commissioner as well as horticulture commissioner. So this is a new program which we made, and in the month of November 2021, this was inaugurated by the Honorable Agriculture Minister. So this is a kind of new scheme where IPM has been included into. I am telling the importance, that how important it is. But we need to come out with IPM schedules for more number of crops. There are many minor crops for which we don't have. Pomegranate. Then we have grapes. These all are the success stories. Bananas. We are having a good agriculture practices. And farmers, they are following that approach for the exportable production. So here, horticulture cluster development program is going to support for good production, clean production for export purpose. New molecules, I mentioned already, I have covered this slide. I'm not going to mention. Only 13 biopesticides I would like to mention here. 5 lakh metric ton biopesticides are traded, and its value is $143 billion US. So biopesticides are very important part of it. But another important part, crop grouping, I would like to mention here. That crop grouping concept that is required to be used, because there are many minor crops for which industry does not take the label claim. They even do not submit the complete data for having the label claim, because area under production is very less. It is not going to benefit them. So here we need to make a crop grouping, and this crop grouping concept has been approved. And in the year 2018, we approved this concept. And NCIPM was actively involved into it while making this crop grouping concept. And here now we are having crop grouping concept, where we have requested our research sector that if for any of the particular disease, farmers, they are using some illegal, means it's unapproved, though it is effective. Research sector is also saying that it is effective for a particular vegetable, but label claim is not there. So if label claim approval is not there, then it is illegal. But how we can legalize it? We can legalize through adopting this crop grouping concept. If we have data available with us, we should apply to the CIBRC that yes, label claim may be expanded for this, and label claim is available for already for some other crop, but we need to expand it for some other minor crops, so that some safety limits could be addressed. Some kind of legalization could be done. Integrated pest management, I need not to teach. You all are the experts in that area. Biocontrol agents, again, we have 2 categories. One is biopesticide, another is the microbials. both are microbials as well as the macrobials. Both are the part of it. So here now for organic production, 34.5 lakh hectare area we have, and we are producing 42.1 lakh ton organic production that is coming from this area, and we are exporting also. Indigenously it is consumed, and we are exporting also. About 6.38 lakh metric ton we have exported, and what revenue we have generated? $689 million we have earned. So 5 lakh metric ton biopesticides are needed for this purpose. Even there are some reports where they have written 8 lakh metric tons. I don't know, some kind of correct estimation is needed. So I request Dr. Subhas if we can come out with some kind of exact assessments that how much biopesticides are needed in the country. I think that will also be a great contribution if you can make, and our NCIPM should come forward with such kind of assessments and estimations. And this real-time estimation is lacking in the country if we can do that. Registration committee, you mentioned about this. Yes, here we have a chairman, agriculture commissioner, 5 members are there. And then whenever dossiers are submitted, applications are submitted. Now everything is online, no hard copy. We have an online system. We only introduced. During my tenure, only this system was introduced. And now scrutiny is done online. Comments are passed on to the industry online. And then their reply will also come online. Some kind of traceability is there that industry can just see and find that what is the status of their application. So committee scrutinize the formula of the pesticide, verify the claims from the safety point of view, because we say human being, animals, and also for the ecology. So that's why ecotoxicity data is also developed, and they need to prove that yes, it is good and it is safe for our aquatics, it is safe for our earthworms, and it is safe for honeybees. So this way a kind of procedure is there, standard operating procedures are there, guidelines are there, well set guidelines are there. Those are required to be followed, and we need to see. And this way registration committee functions, and in depth they discuss, they examine, evaluate, then only the permission is granted for this purpose. This is the registration procedure. I'm not going to tell because you all are the learned person and you know whatsoever we have learned. I remember when I was student, I only studied, but I was not knowing that I will have to handle at country level all these things. And I handled all these things for about 6 years. I handled as a chairman of RC registration committee. So this way we have a procedure for registration. Why I am mentioning all this? Because you have asked me to speak about the policy interventions. These all comes under the policy interventions, that how government of India has made the ease of the business so that problem should not occur. And these all are the parts of IPM, I would like to say. So here under the 9.3b, we give the temporary registration, and under the 9.3, we give the regular registration. So this way system is prevailing, but we need to fulfill the requirement. We need to submit the all complete data related to it. Then only it will be possible to favorably considered by the committee. So this is a long list of microbials which are in our schedule. First, we need to get it included in the schedule. So these are the 35 bio products which are available, and and many of them have been registered. I'll not touch upon these parts. These are the registered one. Those were in the schedule. The first list that relates to the products which are in schedule. Second one is these are the products which are registered. So they have their different specific characters: antagonistic fungi, antagonistic bacteria, entomogenous, entomopathogenic fungi, baculoviruses, entomotoxic bacteria. These all are the different products, and these are registered. And I think more than 300 such registrations are available with the different companies. And data needed are on chemistry, bioefficacy, toxicology, packaging and labeling and legal documents. These all things are provided, and these are the guidelines which are now available for such products. I'll skip all those slides because I'm not going to tell more, because you all are experts in this area. But as a regulatory authority, I have experienced and I have applied and I have used it. That's why I'm just sharing. So this, I'm skipping this one. These are the guidelines which are available for different bioproducts. So, but the mission is bring about a mass movement among the farmers for sustainable approach, for management of crop pests, for enhancing farmers' income through IPM. I think with this mission, NCIPM is also working. And there are about 35 CIPS centers of under the PPQ and FRA. They are also doing this job. They have this CIPMCs. So integrated pest management, 35 centers are there. And their role is monitoring of the insect pests and diseases for forewarning, conservation of natural enemies in farmers' field, production and field release of biocontrol agents, promotion of eco-friendly IPM inputs, human resource development, where farmers' field schools have been now being done. Under the FAO project, we have identified for under the FAO project for fall armyworm, these special farmers' field schools were organized, and still I think they are continuing in few more states. So this is a kind of decisions which were taken, some policy decisions were taken for invasives, and then how IPM strategy can best help in controlling all those things. So we have in the National Agriculture Control System, National Agriculture Research System, we have, sorry. We have 130 biocontrol production facility in 38 state control labs. There are 38 state control labs also, because few states they are containing 2 or 3 more laboratories also. That's why this figure is 38. So this is a kind of status, but full strength and full potential is required to be utilized. That full potential is not being utilized. Only they are producing only few, 2-3 very popular microbials, they are only produced. But we need to focus on many others also. There is a long list that has been mentioned. So we need to concentrate on all other microbials also, except 1 or 2 trichogramma, etc., etc. We should not do. We should do it, and we should provide a wide range of such products to the farmers. Success stories for the biopesticide, diamondback moth, if you take example, mango hopper, mealybugs, coffee pod borer, helicoverpa on cotton, pigeon pea, tomato, then whitefly on cotton, helicoverpa on gram, sugarcane borer, roots and wilts, fall armyworm on maize, this metrisium. Earlier it was Nomeria, now it's a metrisium. So these all are the success stories. So biopesticides are the very important component of IPM. Then knowledge system, Dr. Subhash, he may remember. Yeah, I made a presentation. This is a part of slide where I'm showing that we have a strong knowledge system of Indian agriculture we have in the country. ICAR is the strong knowledge base. It has been admitted. We have 72 research institutions, 6 bureaus, 12 directorates, 12 national research centers, and then 73 agriculture universities, even including central agriculture universities. So convergence of knowledge for technology package that is needed, so that there could be a direct application and it could help in improving the yield. So NCIPM, I must give compliments, so that they are playing their greater role in development and promotion of the IPM technologies for major crops. Many crops they have done it, and the basic objective is that it should have minimum ecological implications. Yeah, few speakers, when in the introductory remarks, they mentioned surveillance. Yes, even a single point that is a surveillance, we can control up to much extent some of the problems. Monitoring, validation of the IPM technologies which are being done by NCIPM is a greater role, I must say. Well, Here, I would like to little mention about this knowledge management part. We have a lot of knowledge which is available with us. So here, collection of data is not information. Collection of data is just simply a data we have. That data is required to be developed in the form of information. So similarly, information is not knowledge. Again, information is required to be analyzed and it should be brought into the form of knowledge. And then knowledge, again, it is required to be put into the wisdom. So knowledge is not wisdom. And wisdom, sometimes it may be true or it may not be. So here, knowledge management, converting the data into information, into knowledge, and then applying that knowledge wisely. So this is the message I have written at the end. This is required to see that how best we can apply this knowledge of IPM for the benefit of the people, if we can do this. So I'm linking with this statement. So there are few actions. So now we are coming to the end of my presentation. Key actions for the next generation preparedness. Fate of biopesticides within an IPM strategy. What are the possible scenarios that can form the basis of the pest management? What are those possible scenarios? We need to see. Apart from IPM, what are those scenarios where we need to fit into? Then inadequate efficacy data on biopesticides and sharing environmental and toxicological data, that's also needed. I remember even some biological, that Bacillomyces case was brought to me. And there are likely chances that sometimes this Bacillomyces, which has been registered for controlling the nematodes, that may also cause health hazard to the human being. So we need to ensure that particular isolate whatsoever of Bacillomyces we have, they need to ensure through some data, toxicological data, that it is not going to harm to the human being and it is not going to travel along with the produce, and it may enter in the human system, may cause any kind of harm and other things. And their survival and all other things are required to be looked into. Safety parameters are very important from that point of view. So lack of credible data that can be used, accepted in another country. Why I am asking? Because now another arena is going to open. Country doesn't allow new microbials to come from other country, because we have National Biodiversity Act which is applicable. We have law of the country. So similarly, many private industries, they are keen to enter with new biopesticides in our country, but we are not allowing. Similarly, our new isolates, we have several isolates, native isolates are available, and people are asking, and several countries, other countries, they are also asking, but they don't accept sometimes our data. We need to see that what kind of parameters and quality of the data is needed. We need to look into, and our research institutions, they need to see how they can support industry and some kind of contractual research they could do in providing the credible data for that purpose. How to better rotate different pesticides, biopesticides, to prevent development of the resistance. So IPM, I think IPM module for such important events, as it is for Felis minor, it has been noticed in some districts of the states. We need to see that how best we can do that, how we can come out with some new molecules which are more effective and they can become a part of IPM. If we follow the IPM, definitely we are going to counteract this resistance development. And I think that's one of the benefit which you mentioned while promoting these IPMs. Limited data on effect on natural enemies and how they would interact with the pesticides and biopesticides. Generally balanced IPM we really need to have. So this is the kind of points which I have mentioned. Optimizing methods to reduce the cost of production of biopesticides to enhance their use. Cheaper or about the same cost as pesticides. We need to see that how it will come out. Then farmers training on best use of pesticides and biopesticides, change of farmers' perception, some behavioral changes we need to do that. Strengthen the capacity of extension to transfer best knowledge to the farmer of IPM related to IPM related information and knowledge. Harmonized approach to testing and registration, reduces the cost of trial by the private sector. It can recoup investment in shorter time. More product development investment should happen. Develop the business models for low cost production of biopesticides, small biofactories to reduce the costs. Improved stewardship, not widely available for biopesticide, but available for some other things. Scale is critical both economically and logistically. Registration, combination of microbials, consortia is again an area I think we need to further. So our collective vision will definitely help in increasing the agriculture production with lower emissions. Now we think about at national, international level that what kind of sustainable goals have been set. So it should meet with it. So now countries has prepared Vision 2047, and I am identified as the key person to work for Vision 2047 of ICAR. So I have already submitted my document, and today again I have a meeting in the afternoon. Vision 2014, where we have mentioned our agriculture should have lower emissions. How we can reduce the carbon emissions? So that's some kind of targets have been fixed for that point of view. Feeding the world within the carrying capacity of the earth, so that there is a balance and we are not going to disturb the ecology. Second point is improve global cooperation in research and technology. Accelerate, strengthen knowledge and technology development that would not happen without the alliance. We need to have collaborations. We need to have some kind of networking. So in networking mode, we need to have some global partnerships are really needed in some areas. Work with farmers and partners, provide knowledge, develop relevant mitigation options, and strengthen productivity and resilience of the food systems. So these all are the points just I wanted to share with you all. I hope I have succeeded in conveying the message related to the policy interventions, several policy new initiatives, interventions which have happened. I hope I have conveyed to the audience. Thank you so much. I stop here, and I'll be very happy if some questions they come. But if that question is highly technical, definitely I will pass on to the experts. But the questions, if it is related to policy matters, if it is related to some other aspects, I'm really happy to answer this one. Kindly, let us take few questions. Let me unshare this slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now it's open for discussion.
Yes, sir. Yadav sir has raised his hand. Yes, Yadav sir.
Should I see the chat box? Yeah, few questions have been flagged. I'll just see.
Am I audible? Sir,
Yes, Dr. Yadav, you are audible to us. Please.
sir, congratulations for nice talk. And I have only query, note the question that you have discussed this crop grouping. So this crop grouping is based on the, we can say on the base of family, or my only concern is that we are working on this brassica group, and if there is any label claim in case of cauliflower, is it applicable in case of brassica gentiana?
Yeah, you are the expert in that area. You can better see that the nature of the problem, whether it is same, it's a behavior, is it is behaving the same way as it is behaving for the major crop for which the label claim is available. So you need to see for some little data information, and then accordingly some information could be developed with a kind of validation for 1 season or 2 seasons. Just that could be seen through experimentation, and then it could be submitted, and label claim will be evaluated, and the label claim will be definitely extended for that particular problem which is common. Suppose you take example of cauliflower and broccoli. If there is a common problem, then that will be extended for broccoli also. But little data for validation is needed.
My query about this Sclerotinia stem rot, because it is a polyphagous pest and it also attack mainly on vegetable also, and major problem in this Brassica gentiana. So if there is a trichoderma viride recommended in cauliflower, we can also use the same in the mustard also, and we try it and it is working very well.
Not only mustard, across the crops it is now being used. I have seen. Some kind of specificity, is there any kind of specificity that it should only be used on mustard? It could also be used for some other crops also, and it is being used.
Sir, only one more query for my side, that for regulatory purpose. Earlier, for example, a breeder produces seed and variety, and he has a breeder right. He can sell his variety or seed as a truthfully labeled seed. But many laboratory or state agriculture university, there was a biocontrol lab. But due to this pharmacology test or many test earlier, they made their own indigenous bioagent and distribute in their surrounding area. But now after coming under this CBIRC, they are unable to sell this because they do not have label claim for that. There should be some relaxation for that.
Well, Dr. Yadav, you very well understand the importance of IPR. Suppose being a researcher, you are a researcher and you have developed a molecule, you have identified one isolate which is very much efficient and it is a new one. It is not repetitive, because we have in the natural ecology, we will find many of the isolates which are existing. Sometimes people are using and it may get established. But if it is new, you will have to prove new. How it will prove new? You know, because you are the you are the inventor. So during the registration process, we ask the registrant, we ask the applicant to take that isolate to the Mau Institute and get it tested and get a DNA profile. And through the DNA profile, we will come to know that it is if it is a repetition, then it will be culled out. Another point, that it should have resemblance with the same genera, species. Sometimes species also varies. So it will confirm on 2-3 aspects through that DNA test report, which he will club with his proposal. So this way things are happening, but it should be novel. If it is novel, definitely it will get the weightage. Again, it is a repetitive. You will take isolate from any other place, and it may belong to some other person. So that's a separate theory. So we need to have a kind of originality. We need to have a kind of IPR binding, and we need to follow all these regulations so that the real inventor, he gets the benefit.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Malhotra, am I audible?
Yeah, Dr. Sahib, I could hear you. Loud and clear, sir. Loud and clear.
Excellent talk, although it's past midnight here in Vancouver. Very excellent talk you have given, and nice exposition. And it's very good that India has an important organization like NCIPM. We're all concerned about the safety of pesticides and everything. At the same time, we have to note one thing, that India is a country where we still use less than 300 grams of pesticide, if I'm not wrong, correct here, compared to US 4-5 kg, compared to China 13 kg, Taiwan 17 kg, and so on. Before they got concerned, we are too much concerned at the stage of 200-300 grams. Although there may be cases of misuse, excessive uses here and there, but by and large, the country is below a much threshold level, actually, of that level of concern that has reached in the other parts of the country, of the world. Perhaps we are in a better situation. It's good to be alert and good to be safe on the safer side from the very beginning and have all these precautions, everything. But is it not that we are not really exploited pesticides to our full benefit before we are trying to stop their use? And this thing, IPM is very important, certainly, but in many situations, when pests are going out of hand, pesticides are important. Biocontrol agents, all said and done, they may be effective, they are effective in some cases. But when the problem comes in the farmer's field, it's difficult to really have a quick control with them. That's where the biocontrol agents are failing and popularity is going down. Except in a few situations, few exceptions are there. But by and large, they're slow acting. We all know that. We know their limitations. So, so pesticides may still remain relevant to at least many more years to come. So that's why we are.
Yeah.
Also, this biocontrol agents, when you say registration process, one thing you have to note that in the nature itself, a lot of evolutionary processes keep on taking place. And every microorganism which you introduce today may undergo some changes in after a few generations. And that level of kind of DNA-based identification itself may fail after maybe a couple of years or few years. So we have to be cautious about that actually, with at what level we need the difference to be to call it novel or old. Thank you.
Yeah, you are very right, Daksha. You are very right, because pesticides are very important, and without these pesticides, it will become difficult for us to control few of the problems which are really serious in nature. So, but how we can make the balance and use the IPM in a proportionate way for addressing the issues in a balanced way, how we can make the safe production. And another point which you have raised, it's also very relevant because it's an evolutionary process. Because here in the climatic conditions, in the nature, in the open conditions, due to exposure to many other things, some natural mutation also occurs. So if there is already prevailing any microbials and some kind of mutation has taken place, that mutation is again considered as a new one, because identification of the new mutants, again somebody is going to put some efforts. So if he is going to put some more efforts and again some kind of mutation is there, then it will become a different, distinct kind of strain. So it will again be a credit to the researcher if he succeeds in identification.
That's what I'm saying, Dr. Malhotra. That we are dealing with microorganisms which have multiple generations in a day's time, not months or years. In multiple generations, and within a week we might have 10, 20 generations. Correct. And mutations are going to be very fast. And the process of registration and this thing is quite long. Then generating all that kind of data and all that, it takes months or years. And by the time you are there, already your organism will change. So these kind of, and then the life of that registration, life of the product is going to be a very difficult process actually.
Yeah, registration process already for the new molecules, already it has been fixed that 18 months are minimum needed. Not only India, several other countries are also having same norms. US 14 months. China, again, they have 12 months. Germany, again, they have 18 months. So we have already studied this one. So it takes, because there is a long process. And dossiers are so big that they need those are required to be evaluated for new molecules. For new molecules, for repetitive ones, only 4 months, 6 months, we are doing it.
Yeah, no, actually it's okay for chemicals which are more stable molecules. But for microorganisms particularly, developing registration data every time is a very Herculean task. And unless there are major differences, some kind of limitation has to be put in, unless there's a major mutation or something, that should be considered. Minor changes should be allowed actually. That's what I'm saying.
So what I'm telling, I'll just little mention about it, because all people, they should know, all participants, they should also know about it. I'm just giving you an example. Indian Institute of Horticulture Research, they have come out with some isolates, and they are the microbials, which are very much useful. Industry has taken those molecules, those biopesticides, those microbials, and they are multiplying it. And whenever we receive the proposal, because no any industry or company can do business if they have not registration. So registration is very compulsory. So they will submit the proposal to the RC committee, and where the data developed by IHR is considered as such, and we give them the registration. Okay, so this is a kind of relaxation only for biopesticides, not for all. So there is a kind of a separate queue has been made for the biopesticide, that these all cases should be cleared in the 6 months time. This we have done it.
That's very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, sir.
I request all other people who have question, please write in chat box. So later we pass on to Dr. Malhotra and get the answer, and we share with you. Now over to Rekha.
Thank you, sir. All the participants, as said, sir, can write their question in the chat box or can email us. Now, taking the program further, I request Dr. Raghavendra KV to please propose the formal vote of thanks.
Yeah, before you speak about the vote of thanks, I would like to address few questions in the chat box.
Okay.
Yes.
There are some couple of questions which are very important, I feel. One of the person, Mr. ML Jiva, he has asked how long will it take for label claim approval, whether it should go through company or researcher for expansion of label claim. The company as well as researcher have to be involved. Yes, researcher is to be involved, and industry needs to just validate it for that new crop for 1 season at least. So that data will be developed by some scientists through some contractual trial, as pesticide industry do. So similarly, they need to get it tested, and they need to submit that information, and then accordingly registration committee will evaluate and will expand the proposal and give a kind of endorsement. It is called as an endorsement because it is already beneficial and label claim for a particular pest. So if it is extended for, suppose it is already available for cauliflower, if you have to do it for broccoli, then endorsement will be done. Yes, it will be applicable for this also. So it will be legalized this way on the basis of 1 year, 1 season data only. So now second one, yeah, obvious that researcher will be involved. Second is peptides derived from native milk, proteins and inherent bioactive molecules play antimicrobial activities, or they can be claimed under biopesticide. Yes, definitely they will come in the biopesticide category. But here again, we need to ascertain that native milk proteins, if it is to be done, how it is going to have its site of action, and what kind of active ingredient available in that particular biopesticide you need to ascertain. Because if you will not ascertain that level, then how you will come across and some kind of quality estimations, quality assurance system, how it will be established. So some kind of, I should say that he need to submit informations, he need to develop some protocol, testing protocol for that purpose. That will be the requirement for this purpose, but it could be done. Now, one more question could be testing protocol. I'm putting the condition. Otherwise, how quality assurance system will be established? Okay, I think these are the 2 questions which I could see. Yeah, one more. Every time we talk about to IPM techniques, follow out reality at ground level, we fail to IPM program because of local shopkeeper not kept to the biosolutions or biopesticide at local level. How to solve this problem? It's crucial at local level. But anyway, whenever any microbials are registered, all conditions are set. That here, the retailer, they need to keep such formulations, such products, vials, avoiding the direct exposure to the sunlight. They need to keep it at some moderately cool area, and then some kind of time period is also fixed, that within this time period it is to be businessed, and otherwise it is required to be rejected. Then they need to send it back, and again it will again be tested for its CFU and all other things, or it may be rejected. It may be rejected. So these all are the conditions which are already set, but people, they follow or not, that is the question before all of us. Thank you so much. Great. Really, I enjoyed the discussion with you all.
Thank you very much. Dr. Ravinder.
Yes, sir. Yes. The best and beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt by hearts. Thank you is one such prayer among them. On behalf of ICAR National Research Center for Integrated Pest Management, New Delhi, I give a heartfelt vote of thanks to our honorable guest speaker, Dr. S.K. Malhotra, who has put an, who we can call it as a torch bearer for showing the updated for discussing the recent interventions of policies for successful implementation of IPM and other pest management aspects in the country. Thank you very much, sir, for sparing your valuable time and valuable wisdom with us. And really, it paves a way for us, especially ICAR-NCIPM, to move further ahead in achieving the targets with respect to the field of pest management. Thank you very much, sir, for your excellent presentation and your words of wisdom.
Yeah.
I would like to thank Dr. H.S. Gaur, sir, and Dr. G.T. Gujjar, sir, who are our guide and who are our teachers, and special thanks to H.S. Gaur, sir, for his valuable interaction with our honorable speaker, Malhotra, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to, sir.
One point, yeah,
Yes,
because I have seen in the chat box, somebody has written that please share the presentation. I'll send you the presentation. Please share with your group.
Right, sir. Right.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your generosity. I would like to thank our honorable director, sir, Dr. Subhash Chandra, sir, for facilitating us to organize such a wonderful programs. Thank you very much, sir, for your constant encouragement and guidance in conducting such a nice programs. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank our honorable in charge HRD cell, Dr. Mukesh Segal, sir, for guiding, cooperating, and convening the program, and always stood as a backbone to formulate such programs throughout the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav event right from 2021 August. Thank you very much, sir. And I would like to thank all other heads, directors, and senior scientists, principal scientists, and scientists who have joined with us from various parts of the country and listened, and they expressed their views with respect to today's program. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank the scientists of our center who have joined with us and listened patiently from the beginning of the program. Thank you very much, sir. And I would like to thank our progressive farmers and plant protection subject matter specialists who have joined from various KVKs from different parts of the country. And I would like to thank one and all who have joined from our sister institutes from throughout the country. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your patient listening, and I thank you everyone for making this program very successful. Thank you very much, sir. Over to ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Ravinder and Dr. Rekha. So with the permission of chair, we will leave the meeting. We stop the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Malhotra. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, can we end the meeting?